Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Jewel. We're moving on with our tutorial of the desk set. I believe we're on part 5. We had finished, or pretty much finished, the folder except for our ties. And then we were working on the journal. I had to kind of almost start over because the tutorial of adding the papers onto the front of the bag, that video just disappeared. So we finished with putting all our papers together, and I went over how I constructed this, and also showed you how we were going to do this, where I had the layers. So that was all. I showed you that, but I did go and sew it before I attached it. Now, I want to show you something. When I attached this, I attached it here on the wrong side, and you see the lace is at the bottom, supposed to be at the bottom, and the way these boards run, it would have been upside down. I could have come in and add more lace, but instead what I did, because I had to pull it off and it did rip a little of the paper, I came in and decided I would add some pockets to cover that mess. So this is going to be fine because this will give you a little bit extra storage space, and actually I think it's a pretty good idea. I have put pockets on the back of journals before, and I'm just going to keep it just like that. I don't think it needs a focal point or anything else because it's the back of the journal. So it's just basically for more journaling. Okay, now we did put the ties in the last video, but I came in and I sewed here, but there is still room for storage in here and in here. Okay, so that's the bag that opens up, in there. So there's room there if you want, You can either sew this right up or you can keep it open for storage, whatever you want. So now we're going to move on with the pages. Okay, we had put the two signatures together and cut the pages down to fit the book. Then I had talked about the trim, and I decided I was going to use, here, let me sit down, some crocheted trim, because I didn't want to use the fabric ruffles like I did here, because this fabric is not cotton, it's duck cloth, and it does not tear. And I just, cutting all of the little strips and all of that just didn't appeal to me. So I thought, well, I will trim it out with lace like this and similar lace. So I didn't have enough of the scallop lace, so I came in and alternated and glued and then sewed. So we have the scalloped here, and then I went 7 pages up and added this lace, which is kind of a scallop. So, and then went back to the scallop and then back to this, and I did that on both. Okay, now we did add a couple pockets in this one, but because I could tell that this was going to be just too chunky by the time we got everything in, I didn't want to add a ton of pockets, because you have this room here, plus we have the doily, which is a pocket here and one on the other side. But I had these pieces, and I like to often add a little pocket on an angle. So we had added some of these corner pockets like this, and I came in and I did sew those. I did one on each side of this paper here. And so I decided I would just put a little cheesecloth, and I had this as a piece out of the Stamperia paper pad. So I did sew that in there. Okay, so that's where we are. Now we're going to come in. Oh, and then in the second, I had talked about doing the belly band, and I showed you the belly band paper that I wanted to do. So I did one here, and all I simply did was round the corners, cut it to about 1.5 inches or maybe 2 inches, and then again on the side and then I sewed it. So we've got 2 belly bands, so that gives more spots. Oh, also we had made this into a pocket, but I did come in and secure it with more thread. So we've got little tuck spots here, and that's going to be in the middle of each. So, but also in this one, I came in and I did another little angled pocket, and then I just add a little doily here for interest. And let me get my thing a little bit more crooked, or a little bit more straight. Okay, let's go and do this, and then hopefully we can sew these in and then start working on the tags and the ephemera to stuff in the pockets of the folder and the journal. So let me put this aside, and I've got a bunch of scraps here from cutoffs and vellum, and then some of my scrappy strips just to decorate a few of the pages. I don't want to add bulk, so I'm going to use flat things. And then I have some stencils, okay? And then I also have some words that I might want to add. Okay, so I have a pile of those. And then I don't need my embellishments yet, because that's what I will embellish the tags with. And then the last thing we will do is add all of our hanging fun items off the edge of the thing. Also, I got in the mail today from Tailor Made Journals, and I don't know if she has any more of this stamp set. She makes these, and they're absolutely wonderful. And this is my second set. And this one is this one. So you can see she embossed it. Look how pretty that is. So I think I'll probably use that one. That says journal. This one says vintage. This one just says journal again. It's simple, but it doesn't have the definition, and then a small little journal. So I'm going to put these here. I may reach for those. So with that, let me put this aside, and we will decorate a few of these pages quickly. And then I would, this is very plain, so I probably would like to do a little something on here, and it's white. I like this burlap stencil from Tim Holtz collection. So let me grab my Distress Oxide, because that's what I want to use. And I'm going to add a big brush, use a big brush here. And is there any blue? I don't think there's any blue in this. No, this is just a cream color. And you can see I like to do things kind of on an angle, and I'm just going to come in and just add a little, just for something on the page. And then maybe what I like to do sometimes is just come in around the edges, just for a little something. And since I might as well do this side too, so we will do that. And okay, so with that, I'm thinking I might just stamp that journal up here. I wouldn't mind embossing, but my embossing powder's over behind me. So with these rubber stamps, they usually come with the sticky backing, and then I use my block. And I'm going to grab some permanent ink to do the stamping. I have an archival ink, the Potting Soil by Ranger. And this is the first time I've used this stamp, so I think I'm going to stamp off first and see how that looks. And that looks pretty good. So let me stamp off again, and then I'm going to add some more ink. And I'm getting a little on the edges, which I don't particularly like, so I need to be a little bit more careful. Okay, and sometimes I take a, I have a stamping pad, but it's over there underneath, and it's when I was when I made cards, I used it every time I stamped, and you really got a good impression. Now you gotta sometimes just let this sit a little bit. And then we've got, the J isn't great, but this is a junk journal, so that's okay. If I were making cards, that would be a throwaway. And that's why I like to get the, let me get my, here it is. I want to show you, this is what a stamping pad looks like. It's kind of like a rubbery corkboard kind of thing. And I think I'll pull that over. And also it's good for stenciling. So you can see it's so messed, it's marked up because I've had it for years. So, all right, so that we're good there. Want to make sure that dries. And then we're going to move on. I'm not going to do anything with this parchment writing paper because it's just so perfect. I'll probably do a little bit here of something. Let's do a tiny little collage. Or, since there is a pocket on one side, we could take, I've got my scrappy strips here, and that adds something, or we could take and make a collaged pocket where I'm just taking my layers and layering them down, my pieces, and layering them down, just maybe like this, gluing all the way across, like this, and that can be a pocket. But you know what, since I have this real pretty piece right here, and I also have this one, and it's a nice long one, and it has a little bit of book page in it. I have this one as well, but I have this one that has some green in it as well, and this is got some fabrics and some greens, but I feel like I don't want the pearls, it's a little bulky. So let's go ahead and just do this, and what this does is we not only have another little pocket, I should sew around that, is we also have some collage right there. I just want to see which part I want to do. Okay, I'll just cut off this end and grab my pencil. So then we have another tuck spot here, and I'm just going to cut this with my fabric scissors. And then I might sew this in, I might not. And I'm trying to think if I want, no, it has to go this way because there's words. I should have pulled my washi tape out. I really like to decorate pages. Oh, I hear chainsaws going out there, so I don't know. The dogs are watching. I hope they can't see it because they'll be barking. All right, so now we have a little embellishment on this page, and you can see it kind of ties the blues tie in with the blue ink. I think this is a good place to just add maybe a little cheesecloth, a little fabric. I have this. This is cute, and we could put a word on that. But I think I'll save this for another page, this section right here. Let me reach my muslin. And we're going to pick a word out, and we're simply just going to, let's see what I have here. Voyage, adventure, I've got commitment, opportunity, empowerment, spirit, focus, forgive, laugh. I want to do laugh. These words are from Happiness and Crafting, G. Kerr. And I'm not quite sure what they're called. They might be called phrases and words, something like that. Okay, let me see how much I need. Just a little strip right here. The only reason why I really decorate on camera as opposed to not just doing the construction of the items is just for inspiration, just so if you guys, to give you guys ideas, you know, and things maybe that you haven't thought about doing, and just to, it's quite organic. It's not like, okay, now before I add this, I think I'm going to add a little bit of embellishment, or a little stenciling rather. Oh, I'm tied up here. Darn, 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 darn. Darn, 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 darn. Oops. Again, I'll put those two aside. I have, this is pretty. This is, you can see it's quite large. It's birds. So, I'm going to use my broken china blue here because this is blue. Just for blend, just for it to just flow. But there's also a little bit of the Distress Oxide on there. So we've got that, and then I'll come back and let's put this right down here. And we'll put our little word, laughter, laugh. Good medicine. Okay, so we got a little bit there, a little bit here. That stands alone. We could do a little bit here, but I think I'm just going to leave it as is. I want to add a little ribbon here. Let me see. Okay, I've got this, and this will look pretty right here. So about that much. Glue that on. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. Oops. All right, let me just trim the little excess off. And here. Oops, well. That's fine. All right, let me flip it over. We'll do the same thing on the other side. I might not get to sewing in today. Might be the next You know what? Let me grab these little scissors here. That's better. Okay, let's move on. Okay, this plane. What? That's stuck. I don't want to do anything with these, the book page, or the vintage paper. We may do something with this pocket. Let me just get these together. Let me just look through back here. Yeah, we added the word journal there. Right here maybe. We could do the same thing. This is, I pulled out because I think I'm going to just add some trim down that. But I want to do this because we did the other side, and then we pretty much, I have this little piece that I cut off, but okay, we've got more words, so we can just do the same thing. Goals. Okay, we'll ink it. And we'll cut a little piece of trim. Let me just cut this way. Very overcast and rainy day. I hope it's light enough in here. Okay, let's go ahead and add our birds, or just a branch. This branch is pretty. Okay, my brush, my brush, my brush. Where's my brush? Huh. Well, I got another one. It's probably right in front of me. All right. All right, we've got a little branch there. Add the glue. And I think I'll put this one right over here. Okay, so this would be fun. You could just tuck your goals in that pocket. No, hey, guys, you're gonna scare everybody to death. Okay, the only thing I want to do next in this section is possibly just do a little bit of something on this. So let me move this signature aside, and I will decorate the other one on my own. I'm going to pull my trims over here and we'll figure out what we want. Now this, we've got this because, you know, we did that, but we already did that. So I feel like, you know, now that I'm looking at it, I really don't want to cover. I don't know if I'm going to trim this out, to be honest with you, because then you're covering I'll be covering all the words. I suppose if I put the trim all the way over here, you know what, I'm going to leave it as is and maybe just add a little bit more blue. I did ink it earlier, but let me just add a tiny bit more and that'll be fine. Okay, let me see the time we have and maybe we can, yeah, we're good. Go ahead and, oh, I can't sew in yet because I have to decorate the other signature. Though, let me see. The only thing is the stamping. I can do the rest of the decorating in it after it's sewn in. Not a biggie. Okay, let me grab my book. I need my other signature. Where is my other signature? Here's one signature. I put the signature, I just put it aside right here and I can't even find it. Oh, it's right here. Under the brush I was looking for, no less. Of course. Okay, let me move stuff off my desk a little bit. Just cover the inks. Move that back. Move this back. And I have a template. And this template I had used on this one. And it's the same exact size. So let me tell you how big this is and the measurements if you're making this exactly the same as I am. The template measures, and you can see the template will fit right here in the middle. Okay, and the first thing I'm going to do before I do that, I want to find the middle of my journal. Okay, so I'm looking here. You see I have a center. I have a centering, I think it's Tim Holtz centering ruler. And here's the middle. Okay. Then that way when I come in, it'll be easier for me to line up. So here are the measurements of my template, and I always make a template. A lot of people don't, but I just don't. It's 1 1/2 inches. Okay, so I marked the middle of the template right here. You can see that line. So there again, the easiest way to do that is just to fold it over. You know, you fold a paper and then you'll see the little indent and then you're gonna know that's the middle. But you can see right here is the middle. So that is going to line up. Now, what I had decided, the first two lines I made, I felt the signatures were going to be too close together. So let me erase that so you can see that those, you can see where I put the holes. Those are not going to be the lines, because what I did is I made the template, then I put my two signatures on the lines and I folded the journal, and I realized that they were going to just be too close together. Okay, so now we're in the middle, so I'm lining that up, and just to let you know how I have the two signatures, if you're going to do similar size signatures, and I'm going to count the number of pages in a minute just so you know, I went over 1/4 of an inch out on each size, so it's 1 inch apart between the or 1/2 inch apart between the signatures. Okay, so let me go ahead and get my phone book. This is how I do. A lot of people open theirs and use it like a cradle. This is just the way I work, and this is the way that works best for me. So I'm going to go ahead and I am centering this between the top and the bottom, but you can see this right here is actually the bottom of the cover, not this. So that's why I'm doing it this way. And I'm going to go ahead and take my pokey tool. Here it is. Now you can clip this if it's easier for you, but I've done so many of these, so I'm just gonna go there and then there. And you see how I have the arrow up? So I know that now I come in and then I'm going to make these holes just a little bit bigger. And here and here, and so you can see my holes coming through the back. Okay, now this is going to be my first signature. Is this the one we just did? Yes. I'm going to go ahead and clip the pages, and first of all, let me tell you how many pages there are. 1, 2, I consider that 3, 4, that's 5, I guess because of bulk, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, so 20 total. Okay, 20, which is 40 if you were to add it that way. So let me grab some clips. And since this is a simple 3-hole pamphlet stitch, 2 clips should be sufficient. And I hold it this way. And sometimes, I'll give you a little hint, a little tip. I will take a ruler in here and I'll simply, so you've seen people fish their way to try to get through, and I still have problems sometimes for all the holes but I find myself, if I can get the papers in nice and tight like that, I have less fishing to do when I go to sew. Alright. Alright, now, something's not right here. I felt it buckle, so something, let me do that again. Something moved on me when I clipped it. There's no really any cardstock in here, so it's a little more fiddly. Cardstock's easier because it's heavier. All right, that should be better. Still not great. Still not fitting down there super good, but I don't know why. I just don't like the way this is. This is not unusual for me. I want to make sure it's right. I don't like to redo things. So I'm kind of going to push this, see, like this, and see if I can clip it this way. Every now and then it gives me trouble, so okay, so here's our first signature. So what I like to do, and this is different than a lot of people do, is they will draw a line like this, and then they can line it up, and then they know that's where to put it. I actually fold on the holes. Oh, by the way, this is 1 inch down. This is right in the middle, so you just fold your template in half to find that, and then 1 inch this way. Simple 3-hole pamphlet stitch. For a journal this size, 1 inch down. Now, here is where I will center this right in the middle. I don't know if you can see that. So I have it right in there, and then I can go in and poke the holes, or you can take a pen first and like mark it. but I usually just poke the hole, and then I will close the book, close the signature on where the hole is. That's, you know, I've done hundreds of these, and for some reason, this is just the way that works easiest for me. Everybody has their own way. This isn't a textbook thing or anything like this. I didn't learn this in journal making school or anything like that. So it's just my own way of doing things. So with that, let's talk about the thread I'm using. I'm going to go ahead and use this heavy cotton crocheted thread, and I'm going to wax it. So if you haven't seen this before, first of all, let me cut the piece I need. So I just measure it 3 times, 1, 2, and 3, and then I cut that. We probably will only get to sew in 1 signature. And I'm just running, I just have this beeswax block. They use these to wax surfboards. And I run it through 2, 3, 4 times, something like that. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and thread my needle. Let me get up on here so I can see what I'm doing. Sometimes I get wax in the needle head because this is a very small needle head. I go as small as I can, and the only reason why is I don't like big holes in my books. So then if there's wax in the needle head, I take a pin or a needle and I pick it out. So hopefully I can get this thread through there. And sometimes I'll flatten the thread out a little bit. And then hopefully I can get it through there. Come on. Without it splitting, but it did, it split. Let me try the other side. Let me grab another needle. Sometimes sometimes I have zero problem. It goes right through, but sometimes it's a little tougher. And usually that's when I'm, oops, see, it just popped right back out. Usually when I am on camera. Well, for Pete's sakes. I think I will have to edit this out. Let's try it again. It's through. Finally, sorry about that, a little torturous. Okay, I go through the middle. Okay, and then through the middle. And then you can either go in the top or in the bottom. Usually what I do here is I'll take whatever clip I have and just so I don't pull the thread through and clip it that way, or you can do take a safety clip, a paper clip, and hold it that way. And then we're going to turn the book, go through the top, and those of you that have done these, you know, you don't have to watch this. And shoot. Usually, well, I'm not getting, let's see, the holes. There we go. And then back through the middle. back through the middle, and then this is where you have to kind of be careful, especially if you're using cotton, and waxed linen is a little bit easier, is not to split the threads. So I'm going through this first one, and this second one is such a delicate page. Here, let me go through this first one, that I want to be real careful, because this is one of my, all right, and then from here, hopefully I can get all the way through. I don't want to rip it. Well, like I just did. Shoot, shoot, shoot. Oh, and I pulled the thing all the way through. Yep, pulled it all the way through. So I got to start over. You'd think I have never done this before. Okay, you got the general idea, guys. Okay, so when you sew these in, and then I have to take the whole thing apart. All right. In through the middle, up through one side, back in through the middle again. I'm going to put a little piece of washi tape there. Up through the other side, and then tie it tight. And if I have many other videos of me doing this, so you can go, if you don't know how to sew in your signatures, you can go there. Okay, guys, I know I've gone over my time. The next one we'll do, the next video will be making our tags and our ephemera and all that to put in the book. Okay, guys, thanks for watching. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.